Good morning. It's the 11th of April, and I've waken up this morning here in Miami and trying to find this new Comet Swan 25 um, in the view of my Seestar out in Texas. So let's cut right to it here with regards to the view there in Texas. We're going to log in and we're going to go to my Seestar S50 at Starfront. I tried yesterday and no luck. Okay, here, if you could see that, we've got this view. I'm creating a mosaic. I'm having the telescope scan a larger area of the sky, and it's building a mosaic image right now as we speak of the comet. And hopefully we'll be able to let me share my screen 1 second, please. Let's see here. I'm going to go here and we're going to share the screen, entire screen. There we go. And now we are going to go to here. There we are. This is the view from the Seestar live in Texas right now, and hopefully we'll be able to see something. It's very, very dim. In fact, I maybe kind of see something up here on the right. Let me see. I'm going to turn off my camera. Yeah, that's it. Right there. There it is. That green little dot where my mouse is. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. That's it. Right there. That green dot is the comet. Now, we should be able to see a little tail on it, hopefully within, I don't know, another 10 minutes of this mosaic being built. But that is the head of the comet right there. It's a green dot, and it should become a little bit brighter with some more time on it. This comet was announced or discovered about the near April Fool's Day, or the 2nd of April. And everybody has been really swarming to try to catch it. A lot of people that I know are hoping to catch it on their visual telescopes, on their smart telescopes. It's the first few days, it was very close to the horizon, making it very difficult to image, but it's moved up quickly. Right now, it's actually almost 20 degrees above the horizon. Let me see if anybody else is searching for this, but the comet is. I'm going to put this on my Facebook. Let me see. Good morning. I'm live with my telescope in Texas, and I have view of the comet. If you want to jump on the YouTube live. Okay, let me see. Let me see if I can grab that link and kind of share this with some people here at Southern Cross Astronomical Society. And I'm going to go here, and actually we're going to go there and skip that ad, and we're going to go to, let's look that up for a second, actually. Yeah, let me see here. Yeah, we got another this guy Chuck, who's also at from Chuck's Astrophotography, is imaging it live as well. Let me see here if I can get that on my screen so that I could find that. Let me see here. Live. My video. That is definitely it. You see that I'm really zooming. That little green dot where the arrow is, that is Comet Swan 25 right there. And yeah, from pictures I've seen posted yesterday, I definitely know it's that green dot there. So hopefully we'll be able to continue capturing it there. So bear with me for a second while we're trying to find the link here to the account. Let me go here and we go over here. Oh, there's the chasing the comet. Um, and let's see here. Mm, Let me post that on the WhatsApp here. Let's see. So it's youtube.com / Star Pictures Miami. Pictures Miami. Okay. Let me change that there. Okay. Yeah. So that's what we've got. This is the live view. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Yeah, it's building the mosaic. So I'm surprised that was able to capture it because yesterday the software was updated on the Seestar on the list, and it did list the comet. But yesterday, when I tried to image it, I think that the field of view was too tight that I had on there, and it was just outside of the standard view of the Seestar S50. So this morning, I expanded the framing to be much wider, and caught it on the right side. No wonder yesterday I missed it. It was all the way on the right side here, but it's there, right there. I'm zooming again there. That little green dot, that is Comet Swan 25. And let's see what else we got here. Okay. Yep. Good morning, who's ever watching. I think we have one person on. I kind of did this spur of the moment. It's Friday morning, the 11th of April, 2025. And I'm gonna zoom in. There it is right there. So that little green dot right there is the Comet Swan 25. I think there might be a little tail kind of developing this way to the left and down, possibly. I'm not exactly sure, but there it is right there. Yeah, I wonder if I could draw a box around it. No, I can't. So, yeah, this is rising quickly in the morning. The first couple days, it was just barely 1 or 2 degrees above the horizon. Next day, it was like 8 degrees. Yesterday, it was like 12 degrees. This morning, it's like 18 degrees above the horizon. This is the view of the Seestar in Texas at Starfront. Since they're an hour behind, I have the advantage of being able to look back and wake up in the morning, and it's still dark for another hour after the sun has risen here in Miami. So that is a plus, especially for this type of a capture. And as this develops, I'm going to enhance it here. I'm going to see if I can actually apply the noise reduction here live. Let's see if we can see a little bit clearer. I'm going to go noise reduction. Oh, it's not complete yet, but let me see. Let me mark it. No object to mark. That's interesting. That's definitely it. That little green light right there, that is the comet right there. But if I try to mark it, no object to mark. So that's it right there. Oh, let me see. I am sharing the screen, right? There we go. And there it is. Sharing the screen there. Here is the comet there. That little green dot right where the mouse is. I don't know if you can see the mouse. That's it. Let me zoom out a little bit. It's building out a mosaic. Yesterday I just had the standard framing and it was too tight. So this morning I said I'm going to expand the mosaic framing all the way, and it just caught it on the right side. Let me zoom in again. There it is right there. It's not much to look at right now, but it will develop a tail if it survives its encounter with its proximity to the sun and doesn't disintegrate within the heat of the sun. If it keeps it together, we should be in store for excellent viewing in the future. The peak of it, if it makes it past the sun, its proximity to the sun or perihelion, it will be very bright in towards the end of the month. So we're not that far away. You know, we've got maybe another couple weeks. So there it is. There's the tip of it where if you could see the mouse, I'm moving the mouse right there. And that is the Comet Swan 25. Like I said, it's not really, it almost looks like a star, but it's very green compared to everything else in the immediate area. So, I'm zooming out. It's building a mosaic, the sea star right now. So you can see it kind of looks kind of weird. The edges are not sharp. See the bottom here, it just built out that little area in the bottom. And it'll probably build out another little area here where my mouse is at the bottom. And it's actually stitching together panels of the framing that I've got. Let me see. Let me try to put the link for this. If I share this, let me see. Share. Copy link. I'm going to put it here. There we go. There's a link. I revised. I put it on the WhatsApp right now. But yes, Russ Brick is trying to grab onto the link here. Try that link. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to zoom in. That's it right there. I said it's not a whole lot to look at. Let's see, right? But as you could see, it almost looks like a faint star right now. This image here, it's almost like it looks like two stars, and that's because probably of the subs. I'm doing 10-second subs with the Seestar with the S50. This is live from Starfront in Texas. Again, the advantage of having the scope over there, and there is a 1 hour time difference, so it's still dark. The sun is still rising over in Texas, but this area right here, that's the comet there. As you can see, the other stars are pretty round. This is very, very zoomed in, but you could see that it's green. And from what I've seen yesterday in the images, that's the color of it right there. And I'm going to zoom out, and then I'm going to show a view of my Pure Cam. This is the Sea Star live imaging the comet. This is from underneath the Seestar looking up. This is an ASI 662MC camera. It's a planetary camera that I have mounted underneath or in front of my Seestar. And this is a live view of the sky. So that's pointing up right there towards the comet, towards the sky. And it's starting, you can start to see the light from the sunrise coming around the corner here. So let's go back to the view of the Seestar. We go here. So let me zoom in on the actual comet again. There we go. That is it right there on the right side there, that little green dot. Actually starting to look like two dots. We'll probably lose it here in about 10 or 15 minutes as the sun rises in Texas. But yeah, I missed it this morning. I really wanted to catch it tomorrow morning. I'm going to wake up early. Plus, I also want to visually see Venus, which right now is spectacular. It's rising early in the morning. Actually, you can probably wake up at about 6, between 5:30 and 6, and see it clearly. If you've got a clear view to the east, it has a very thin crescent on it right now. Should be very spectacular to look at. I'm going to try to capture that with my planetary camera and also the Seestar from here from Miami. But yeah, that is, I'm going to zoom in. That is Swan 25, the Comet Swan 25 right there. As it continues to image, I'll probably get another 10 minutes out of it. I'll try to clean it up and see if we can see any tail on it. Denoise it, touch it up in Lightroom and whatnot. If anybody wants to volunteer to process it a little bit, be my guest. I'll make the data available. I can share that on a Google Drive folder if anybody wants to. Who's got some skills in PixInsight or Photoshop or anything like that, which I don't have. I know you guys like Evan and Kevin and and Dan um, can maybe polish it up or whatnot. But hopefully this will be better as the days go by. It is rising quickly in the morning, as far as its height in relation to the horizon. I believe this morning it's about 18 degrees. I was dropping off my daughter at school this morning, and it was already, it was too late to try to view it here. But tomorrow morning, I am definitely waking up at 5 a.m. to set up my Celestron 8SC, and it's over here. I've got the mouse over here on the right side. This is where the little green fuzzy right there. I'm going to really super hyper focus here, as you could see there. That is Comet Swan 25. And there's a lot of people right now imaging it across the world or trying to look at it as the sun is rising. People out on the West Coast have that advantage that they can still wake up and see that because it's still, like, say, in California, it's still what, like 4:40 in the morning, 5:40 in the morning, 3 hours behind us. So they still have some time. And I know there's a lot of astronomy people and astrophotographers on the West Coast, but that's the view. It's building a mosaic right now. And you could see, compared to all these other stars, that this one stands out. This is, it's not round. It's not like whitish or a slight yellow or orange. It's green. I'm going to zoom back in. And that is it right there. That's Comet Swan 25. Live view from Texas, my Seestar S50 at Starfront on there. So I'm glad that I'm able to share this with you guys this morning. Um, it's Thursday. I mean, sorry, so it's Friday, the 11th, and we've got this view here. I'm going to post this on WhatsApp again. I'm glad, Russ, you're able to see it there with that second link. Sorry, I couldn't provide that link earlier. Let's see if I can. I'm going to post this on Instagram right now. Why not? Could still grab this and share this with some people if they want to view it. I'm going to put here. If I go here and expand that, I'm going to take a screenshot there. And then I'm going to post that onto Instagram. So you're looking at right there. I'll move my mouse. That is the Comet Swan 25 right there. It's about 18 degrees above the horizon. Still very small, but let's see what happens here with the development of it. And I'm going to select some more pictures here. And then we're going to go there. Next, I'm going to put here live, Comet Swan 25. Right. Okay. There. Next. Let's see here. I'll put a link there. So basically, yeah, that's going on there right now. Yeah, Kevin, if you're watching it, I'm sure you're at Starfront. Uh, get your Newtonian on this thing if you can. Um, that should be a much better image than what I'm getting with the Seestar here. Let's see here. I'm gonna go okay, and I'm gonna go share. Okay, so that's live on Instagram. So that is Comet Swan 25 there. Let me go back. Oops. To the view in Texas here with, that's it. This is the dashboard of the Seestar. And we could see that is the area right here where I've got my mouse in this area. So yeah, it's hopefully it'll survive it's close encounter with the sun and not, be eviscerated by the heat of the sun, and hopefully live on to show us some more. Hopefully we'll get to see this thing if it's anything like um, the one we saw back in October to Session 2024. That was spectacular. I remember we went out as a group, Southern Cross, out to the Mahogany Hammock Trail in Everglades National Park, and that was the first time I've seen a comet naked eye like that. It was spectacular. It was a huge tail on it, and was definitely worth going out there in dark skies. So that's it right there. Hopefully, we'll be able to continue to watch this here for a little bit. So if you're joining us now, this is Carlos here with um, Star Pictures Miami, and I've got the Seestar in Texas on the Comet uh, right there. The mouse is right there. I don't know if it's going to mark it. I'm going to zoom out all the way so you could see there, and I'm going to put in the this is the view on the left side of the Pure Cam underneath the Seestar over at Starfront, looking out. I'm going to move that over so you can kind of see that a little bit. I'm going to zoom in on that for a second. That's the Seestar on the left side. Almost, actually, it's looking out to the east. Isn't it? Is this thing rising in the east or the west? It's I believe it's in the rising in the east. Anyways, it was on the list of targets, the comet, and I'm gonna reduce this down, get the Seestar back on the view. Let's go back to full view of the Seestar with the comet in the view. That's it right there on the right side. It's building a mosaic. I put it in a mosaic mode because I learned yesterday. I tried to image this yesterday, and I just used the standard framing from the Seestar was too small, and a couple other people, were posting images that they had captured it with a Seestar, but today I chose to max out the framing with the mosaic feature, and you can see it's building out the mosaic in the bottom left corner here, that little round corner. It's working in that area, but there it is, the little green fuzzy right there. That's Comet Swan 25. That is all over the news and whatnot. They're blowing it out to in showing these images that other people have captured, maybe from better latitudes, um, with a long tail and everything. And that's not this right now. I mean, at least with my $500 Seestar, it's not. But it is good to be able to find it with that camera and to hopefully process it. If anybody, I'll make this data available in a folder if anybody wants to jump in and process it and try to see if there's any tail action on this. Right now, it's on the right side of this mosaic that I'm building here, and the sun is coming up in Texas. Let me see if not, what the sunrise is already should be coming up momentarily. Let me look in my phone. When is the sunrise in Texas? Sunrise at 7:13. So right now we've got, technically it's 6:49 in Texas. They're an hour behind, so we've got another 24 minutes before the sun rises. So we should have another you know uh, good 24 minutes, 20 minutes before it is obscured by the sunlight. But that is Swan 25 right there, where the mouse is. You can see the other stars. This is not, it stands out because it's not round, it's not white, or not like a light yellow or light orange. It's green. So there, that's it. That's like super zoomed in right there. Move my mouse away from it. But that is the comet. Hopefully, with some more time, we'll be able to get a better image. I remember last year that Tsushin uh, A2024 Tsushin comet, that was spectacular when it was visible with its tail and the anti-tail and everything. It was just like, wow, that was really something incredible. And I got some great images with that, with the Seestar out in Texas. And then here from Miami, I think it was like in October, it was really spectacular from the dark sky area there, Mahogany Hammock Trail in Everglades National Park. Yeah, so there it is. It's not like super a lot of stuff to look at there, but that is Comet Swan 2025. As we look at it and observe it and hope that it gets brighter and more detailed with some time. That's what we've got there. And let's see what else is going on here. Let me check on Instagram. Okay. Yeah. It's not going to let me do the well. I cut and pasted the link on Instagram for the YouTube live. It doesn't appear as a hyperlink, but you could copy and paste that. Can you? I'm going to put on there. I'm going to put the link here. See www.starpictures Miami. I'm going to youtube.com / Star Pictures Miami. That's the channel. Okay, so we've got that there. That's Comets Swan 25 right there. Let me see if it's going to look. I can maybe do a little bit of adjustment with a color balance here. Let's see. Okay, let me see if it'll let me do some. Okay, it will. Let me get this out of the way. Let's see if I can make it pop a little bit more with some of these. I'll bring up the darkness, the black background a little bit, and then increase the color saturation. Okay, and then we're going to zoom in. Okay, now you can really see the contrast. See, it's green right there. Yeah, the Seestar lets me do a color enhancement on the panel of the mosaic that it's building right there, and I just made it pop a little bit more. I can maybe make it pop again with some more color enhancement. Okay, that's too much. It's too much contrast. Let's go with the color saturation. I'm going to go all the way. And that's almost all the way there. See, that really made it pop green there. That's the view that we've got of the comet. I really amped it up in the color saturation there, so we've got that going with a comet. Look, you want to see the comet? Look, I'm on a YouTube live right now. That's the comet right there.
Wow.
Pretty cool, huh? That's from Texas at Starfront. Yeah, I think that we'll probably get a little bit of tail on that if I can clean up the image when the mosaic is done. Let's see here. Okay, let me see if I've got. Let me share this with some other people at Southern Cross. Let me see, astrophotography. Oh, live with Swan Comet. Paste. Oh no. See if I go here, if I could share this image, copy the link, and post that there. So yeah, I amped it up so we could see a little bit more. It's not a whole lot to look at. I'm zoomed in pretty tight there. It's green. The other stars around it are orange and maybe a little white there. But when I was imaging the comet back into last year, the A 2024 succession, I got this same effect. Like, I don't know if it's because of the multiple subs exposures. The the head of the comet was appearing like a double head, and that seems to be happening here. You can almost see like two dots there, but that is the view of Comet Swan 25. Today, the 11th of April in 2025. Today is the 11th, isn't it? Let me see here. Yep, April 11th. Tax day's around the corner next week. If you're going to file an extension, remember to file the extension um, by the 15th or the latest on the 15th on there. And my accountant was telling me that actually you got to send, if you have to send money with the extension, they're letting you go till May 1st because of the Hurricane Milton that hit Florida back in, I think it was September and whatnot. So you get a little bit extension. You can file the extension. You have to file the extension on time before the 15th, but they'll give you another 2 weeks to make the estimated payment if you owe money. Anyways, that's the tax tip. Not that I'm an accountant. You should talk to your tax professional. I am not. So here we are with the Comet Swan 25. That's a live view from Starfront in Texas. It's still dark over there for another, I don't know, less than 20 minutes because of the time difference. They're an hour behind us in Miami. And that's a super zoom right there. Let's see if I can get my light here so you can see me a little bit clearer. There. Actually, second time, that's a little bright. Yeah, so this comet, um, let me try to find some additional information on it here. What it's going to be doing here, Comet Swan 25. Yeah, Comet's C 2025 F2 Swan, also known as Swan 25F, is a newly discovered comet visible in the early morning sky from both the northern and southern hemispheres. It is currently bright enough to be seen with binoculars or a small telescope. So, yes, see, here's what we know about Comet Swan 2025. discovery, co-discovered by Vladimir of Bezulgi and Michael Mitiazo. Visibility best viewed in the east northeastern horizon just before sunrise. Timing northern hemisphere observers may have the best chance to see it in April, while southern hemisphere observers may have a better view in May. The brightness. The comet is currently at 8 magnitude. It's pretty dim and will be more challenging to spot in areas with light pollution. No kidding. Location currently in the constellation of Pegasus and will move to Andromeda in a couple of weeks. Okay. Sorry, there's the comet right there. We're looking at that. That's what we've got. Seestar out in Texas at Starfront. This is Carlos with Star Pictures Miami and proud member of Southern Cross Astronomical Society here in Miami, and the second oldest astronomical society in the United States, founded in 1922 here in Miami, South Florida. And I get asked, why did they start it in Miami? Well, back over 100 years ago, when light pollution was first starting to come, first started to come on the scene, people that were into astronomy, they escaped down south like they do to the. Let me try to get that back here. We go back to YouTube Live and share the screen, share the entire screen. I think I lost the screen there, and there we go. All right, and there. That's the. Sorry, we had that infinite view there, but I'm going to zoom in on the comet. There it is on the right side, that green. Looks like two dots right there. That's the comet, Swan 25. Yeah, I was talking about Southern Cross, why it was started here in Miami. Well, Miami is one of the furthest points south um, that people could go. Could either take a train or possibly drive down. It was very, very dark down here. That's before the development of Miami in Miami-Dade County as we know it. So it was very dark down here. So people used to flock down here that were into astronomy and looking at the stars with their telescopes over 100 years ago. Fast forward today, Miami is one of the most light polluted areas in the country, if not the world. But we still have the coast that we can escape to, and we do that like at our winter star party in late January, early February. And here's the view of the comet, Swan 2025. I really jacked up the exposure and the color saturation to make it pop a little bit, to make it more visible right there. That's the view of the Seestar. I'm gonna back it out for a second and then go to the pier cam. This is the pier cam view right there. I'm gonna make this the full view of the that's the planetary camera that I have mounted underneath the Seestar out in Texas at Starfront, looking up. It's kind of in front. This is the Seestar here, and it's imaging this comet at the moment. Actually, it's pointing towards the towards the east right there. So this is the main body of the Seestar, and then the lens is kind of at an angle, so it's pointing to the east. So let's go back to the Seestar, make that the big view. I'm going to zoom in again, and there it is. It's on the right side of this image. I'm going to hyper zoom here. So I'm moving the mouse around it. This is it right there. Yep. Let's see. Okay. Yeah. So that's the view of the comet right now. We've only got probably less than 10 minutes before the sun rises officially in Texas. So this is going to start to get washed out, this image here. But I'm going to leave it there on this big zoom so you can see that. We're looking at this is the target area right there. That's the comet, Swan 25. Not a big sexy image of a comet with a long tail or anything like that, but it's this thing was only discovered less than less than 2 weeks ago, and it's today quite visible. With the dark skies out in Texas. Here this morning, I missed it. I got up too late, but tomorrow morning, Saturday, I'm definitely going to wake up early. And one of the few days I don't get, I get to sleep in, but definitely going to wake up early to try to capture this comet and also look at Venus in the morning, which is rising in a spectacular fashion in the east. It's has a very thin crescent right now on Venus, and I'm definitely gonna want to get up and see that with my visual scope, my Celestron 8SE. If you haven't seen it like this, I really encourage you to you know get your scope out and take a look at it. It is spectacular. Venus is just fascinating with its phases that it has right now. So we've got that going on. Thank you for joining us. I know this has been very short notice, but tomorrow morning I'll try to do this again and share this with anybody that would like to see the comet that doesn't have a telescope. Even though you can go outside and with a pair of binoculars, at least Google is saying that you can see this with a pair of binoculars if you know where to look. Tomorrow morning it should be hopefully a little bit higher, though maybe a little bit dimmer. Should be about 20 degrees above the horizon, maybe a slightly higher than that. Tomorrow, Saturday, the 12th of April. And let's see, we've got this view there from the Seestar in Texas at the remote observatory. Yeah, really blow it out there. Okay, that's it. You can tell it's definitely green. There's no doubt. It's tiny. But if it makes it, through the perihelion where it's closest to the sun, if it survives that, well, a lot of comets they kind of evaporate or get burned up because they can't withstand the heat from the sun and the radiation from the sun and its proximity to the sun. Then, if it lives on, we should be able to have a good view of this after April or towards the end of April, but it is moving quite quickly. In the morning, it has been rising since, let's say, Tuesday, where it was only like 1 degree or 2 degree above the horizon, very hard to see. Next day was like 8 degrees. Yesterday, it was like about 12, 13 degrees above the horizon. And that's when people really started to see it. And this morning it was closer to 18 degrees above the horizon. So that's Comet Swan 2025. I'm going to put my mouse around it. It's pointing straight at it. There. This is super zoomed in. That is, let's see here. Got only a few minutes to the sun rises out in Texas at Starfront Remote Observatory. And I'm grateful that I can do this, and I've done it with a very inexpensive setup. For a $500 Seestar, I've been there for over 6 months, and you can get in there a lot of people have emulated what I've done. There's over a dozen sea stars over there at Starfront now, and most of them have my exact rig, which is the Seestar and a Mac Mini computer, and that is the best way to control it. People are using Alp, which is a program on the Raspberry Pi. There's a guy there that is set up with a Raspberry Pi, and you could do a lot of things with Alp that you can't do with the stock C-Star ZWO dashboard. Like you can run multiple C stars. You can you were they were able to use it in EQ mode with a wedge before ZWO released that natively on the app. It could do many other things. You can power cycle it remotely. So they've I think ZWO is looking at what the people with Alp have done on the C Star on Raspberry Pi and are emulating that natively. So there we have the Comet Swan 2025, Swan 25 in that view there. That's that green, almost looks like a double star. This is taking 10-second subs right there. So that's the view from Texas. And some more information. Yeah, you can use binoculars or a small telescope to see it. And let's see here, Swan 25F, named after the Swan instrument on the Soho spacecraft. Oh, it was originally spotted on this Soho spacecraft, which is a satellite, which was used to identify and observe the comet. It is a relatively young comet, meaning it has not passed near the sun many times before. So yeah, comets they make their way around our universe and then they loop around the sun. If they survive, they will survive for another orbit around the our universe and then loop back around the sun in I don't know maybe 50 to 80 years on there. Let's see. Some sources suggest it could potentially become visible to the naked eye under very dark skies, especially by the end of April. So let's keep our fingers crossed with that. If that will happen, we're looking at I'm going to zoom out. This is the dashboard of the Sea Star. It's building a mosaic right now, and it's on the top right corner. I'm going to zoom back in, and there it is. I did the mosaic because I wanted to expand the view of the framing of the image. Yesterday, I was not able to capture it at all because of the I used the standard frame, which is quite small, but I expanded the frame to the full frame with the mosaic feature on the Sea Star, and it's on the right side. It's not dead center, but I don't want to move it now because it's still building the panels on the mosaic. So I'm just going to let it sit there and finish its thing, and I'll make this data available to anybody else who's interested. They can build out the view there. Over the next few nights, I'm going to definitely keep on imaging this and trying to build more data on it and see if we can see the tail on there. But that's what we've got. The Sea Star is live in Texas. They're an hour behind us, so the sun is just starting to come up right now. Let's go back to the view with the Pure Cam, which is right here. Yeah, so that's a view of the Pure Cam looking up underneath the Sea Star at Starfront. And let's look at the all sky camera there for a second. Let me refresh this. Oh, lost the connection there. Let's put that back. These are live views of the cameras in the buildings at Starfront. I'm in building 6. Here we go. That's my building there. There's a big old plane wave monster right there, right across from my Seestar. That thing's a beast. Um, let's go back to the Seestar on the Comet. Let's expand this and zoom in. Right there. That's Comet Swan 2025F. Newly discovered comet. And hopefully we'll be able to get better images, better data on it, cleaner data. If it survives the perihelion, it's its closest encounter with the sun. That's the true test. If it makes it past the sun, then can loop back and continue to live on for another cycle around the universe. But the sun is often the comet killer because of the heat and the radiation and whatnot that comets encounter as they get closer to the sun. So should be making its loop around here very soon in the next few days, the next coming week or so. All right. And thank you for tuning in. I'm going to stay with this until we can't, trying to build out the image, the mosaic on the Seestar S50. That's it, that little green area right here. That's the comet right there. I'm going to try to clean it up in some post processing with Graxbert, try to denoise it a little bit and try to make it pop with a little bit of Lightroom editing on there. As I get my skills together for post processing, I'll hopefully be able to improve my images. But right now I'm just sticking to uh, native editing within the Seestar. Let's see, adjust the exposure of an image, apply an AI noise reduction, do some color balancing on there, and it's very basic, editing on there. But then I do export it to Graxbert for additional noise reduction and some stretching, and then I'll bring it into Lightroom on the iPhone to do some additional editing. We've got a SpaceX launch in 24 hours. I think there's a SpaceX launch um, tonight, actually at 9:15 p.m. tonight, April 11th, from the Kennedy Space Center. It's a Falcon 9 Starlink group of satellites. I will be definitely trying to image that, even though tonight I'm going to be going to FIU. The Stalker Observatory, Dr. James Webb is going to be giving a talk there, and they're going to have a tour of the observatory command center on the second floor, which I've never seen. This place is like NASA because they have a research grade telescope there at the Stalker Observatory at FIU. It's the only research grade telescope in all of South Florida. A lot of people don't know that at FIU. My daughter goes to FIU and she was like, "Dad, there's going to be a star party," and I said, "Yep, I heard about it from uh, our from Southern Cross. Barbara Yeager had posted that in our WhatsApp chat, and I'm going to post that on our Facebook this morning so that we can share that information there. It's open to the public, but that's a great on the fourth floor of the observatory. They bring out some telescopes. They'll open up the dome with the big research telescope, and it's not often you get to get that close to a real scientific telescope, huge telescope there, and they can move it around and focus in on different targets. But here we are with the Seestar, the little old Seestar. It's definitely not a research grade um, telescope, but for $500, does a pretty good darn job. You agree here? This is the Comet's Swan 25. F with the Seestar from Texas. I'll zoom out a little bit here. And that's the view. It's building out the mosaic. I'm going to turn off this light here. Yeah, it's really, tomorrow I'm going to try to reframe it, try to get it more in the center. But you can see, I'm going to zoom in again. Oops. Bring this down. Move this out of the way. Yeah, at the bottom there, you can see the little dial. It's taking 10-second images and building out the panels of this mosaic. So the area that we're concentrating is right here on the right side. That green area there, that's the comet. We don't see the tail on it. I'll have to really edit it, try to get the tail if there's anything visible there, hopefully. All right. Well, very good. I think that it's already sunrise in Texas. And thank you for joining me. I'll be posting, this will be available on YouTube Live. If you didn't catch it live, you can actually catch it and view it anytime you'd like. As this comet develops, I'll be doing more YouTube Lives to share the image with everyone um, in Instagram land and Southern Cross and everywhere else, or possibly on Facebook. All right. Thank you very much. This has been Carlos with Star Pictures Miami and Southern Cross Astronomical Society. Signing off. Thank you. All the best.